What's up, guys? It's been a while since I've done a video, and thank you guys for tuning in. Took a little bit of a hiatus just to kind of regroup after the last training regimen and to kind of focus on myself mentally and also do some physical recovery as well. So I think that was kind of important for me in order to become a better runner in the future. I've also started another training block, another half marathon training block, to get myself really more antiquated to the heat and humidity that we are going through right now. So average day here in the summertime is about 90% humidity. Pretty much all the time from, it doesn't matter if it's overnight or during the day. The humidity runs high every single time or every single day. It's brutal out there, and you almost have to change the way you set your times to go out for a run. So you might not be able to run middle of the day. You're going to have to either get up early in the morning and kind of get it at daybreak, or you're going to have to go later in the evening, usually after an afternoon thunderstorm, late afternoon thunderstorm, or late in the evening as the sun is kind of setting off in the distance, which can make some really beautiful runs, especially since we're supposed to be getting some of that Sahara dust rolling through the area. So anyways, getting to it, because of it being hot, and all that outside, I'm going to kind of do my initial impression review. This is a first run impression video, I guess you could say, of these shoes, the Puma Velocity Nitro. These ones are the CoolAdapt, which I think is fitting for what I'm about to talk about because of the heat and humidity outside. So with that being said, we'll dive right into it. But first, if you guys wouldn't mind just clicking that like and subscribe button, really helps the channel out, reach a broader audience, so we can talk about these particular shoes. Now, if you're new to the channel, I go by Rob, or I kind of name my channel or these videos Average Rob Runs, because I'm a heavier runner. I'm not a lightweight runner. My weight hovers between 200 to 215 pounds, depending on how active I've been. But right now, hovering about 215 pounds has been my average weight. So why I say Average Rob Runs is because there's a lot of people out there that, unfortunately, they don't fall in the category of being a lightweight runner. So being under 180 or 170 pounds is pretty optimal for being a runner. And I'm no doctor when it comes to that. I'm no sports therapist or anything to say what the proper weight for a runner is to be. But there's a lot of people out there that are just like me, that love to run, or maybe have gotten into running because of COVID over the past year and have really enjoyed it, but they're still on the heavier side. So why I do Average Rob Runs is, how do these shoes like this Puma Velocity Nitro, how does it work for guys and women, men and women, that are heavier runners out there? So these are my impressions, some of the other videos that you can go through my channel and take a look at. Some of them are full reviews on other shoes that I have. But this one is a first impression, first run video. I've had these shoes kind of sitting off to the side for a while, kind of waiting for the right day to use them. I was trying to get mileage up on some of my other shoes first, which I did accomplish. A lot of the other shoes that I have, if you're frequent to this channel, some of the shoes that I've been trying to get to 50 miles have gotten to 50 miles. I will be posting videos. My camera that I was using kind of died, so I'm waiting for that to charge and get it on my computer so I can do some editing to it. But this one is kind of old school, using the old camera system, which is pretty much an iPhone on a tripod. Anyways, sorry about that little tangent. Getting right into it. Puma Velocity Nitro, brand new shoe for 2021. Again, I've been sitting on this one for quite a while, and I'm actually really impressed with the shoe as a daily trainer. It is a daily trainer. I'll get into that in a second, what makes it a daily trainer. But first, let's go through some of the specs here. It's actually a relatively lightweight runner. This is I went true to size, by the way. Men's size 10 in this particular shoe. And I'll be honest, I'm actually really loving this particular shoe. So let's get into the upper. It's a engineered mesh upper here, super breathable. It's pretty lightweight actually. And there's some things that I noticed about this that I haven't seen other reviewers kind of mention about this particular shoe. And I'm gonna kind of go into that here in just a second, but we're going to start at the toe, kind of work our way back with this particular upper because there's a lot going on here. First, it's engineered mesh upper. It's a kind of a dual layer system here, but it's super breathable, especially in the toe box. You can actually see where there's a little bit more airy space in this particular area. Your big toe is right here where the pouncing cat is at. Typical Puma logo, but I like the location of it kind of on the inside toe. It just looks really, really nice on the shoe. Now, the toe box itself is comfortable. It's comfortable. I'm not going to say it's wide, but I'm not going to say it's narrow either. It does have a proper amount of volume to it, so which means depth or height to it. It does have a proper amount of volume up here, so your toes do have some area to wiggle about a little bit, but not too much, which I kind of like because I like that lockdown feel. I like making sure that the shoe feels really attached to your foot. That being said, the toe area does run a little bit long, so I wouldn't recommend going to half size down. The reason why I say that is because I would be a little afraid about your smaller toes getting kind of squished together and causing some discomfort on your runs. So I would go true to size, but just to give you an idea, right around the big toe area, it's a little bit long in the first two toes. But after that, everything is perfectly fine. I actually enjoy the toe box area of the shoe. Around the ball of your foot area, it's nice and comfortable. I'm not going to say that it's wide. I'm not going to say it's narrow. It's just a right fit for the ball of your foot area. So I really enjoy just the toe box area altogether. Coming up through the midfoot, you got a nice reinforced eyelet chain here. One of the things I like about the Puma Nitro shoes is they do have this wide lacing system right here. It's nice and wide. And I like that because you can kind of get a really nice lockdown with this particular type of eyelet chain, because a lot of them that get a little close together, you can almost get them too close, and then you don't feel like you're getting them tight enough, or maybe you need to loosen it up. This is kind of nice because it's just nice and wide and open over the top of your foot, and that allows the tongue, which is a thin tongue, to kind of breathe a little bit better. Because once you cinch on some other shoes, once you cinch this over, now you've got an extra layer of mesh kind of going over your foot. So this allows the tongue to kind of breathe a little bit more over the top of your foot. It's a very thin tongue, very lightly padded. Not quite Pegasus 37 thin, but definitely not like a, let's say, Saucony Triumph type of thick either. So just a really nicely, it's a thin padded tongue. Locking it down, lacing it down, I didn't feel like there was anything cutting into my foot. The comfort was really good. I have no problem with that at all. And I kind of like this, you know, around the outside of the tongue here is this felt like material, so it's really nice and soft. It doesn't ever feel like it's cutting into your foot. So I really like this upper here. The eyelet chain, even though it's reinforced, it's kind of a soft reinforcement on the eyelet chain here. So I can see that after a while you might run into that issue where, especially on these top eyelets, where they start opening up a little bit. But right now I don't see, you know, any issues. Again, this is a first impression run in this shoe, but I really noticed that The upper felt really good. It's nice and comfortable. It's breathable, which is great when you're out in the heat. Now, the collar area, probably one of my favorite features about this shoe. The collar is absolutely amazing. The heel counter, the collar, great lockdown, nice padding around it, I mean, around your Achilles, around your ankle, just really nice padding. Not Saucony Triumph, like plush padding, but definitely like a little bit, definitely more than what you would get on the like the Asics Nova Blast or the Nike Pegasus 37 and 38. So it's a little bit more padding, but it doesn't, it just adds to the comfort. It's a really nice soft material back here. It's an absolute pleasure running in this shoe. And so this has the CoolAdapt technology on it, which is mainly this insole that's inside the shoe. And I guess it's Puma uses this on a couple of their like shirts and shorts and whatnot. And I guess what it's supposed to do is, as your body heats up, it doesn't heat up with your body. In fact, it's supposed to be able to do the opposite and actually kind of give you like a cooling effect. Now, I don't want to say that I didn't get that feeling, but I definitely didn't get hot in this shoe. Like sometimes, especially now, with the pavement and everything kind of heating up out there, you might get hot spots underneath your shoes. I really noticed that in like Nike React shoes. I really noticed you get those hot spots in that. But in this, didn't have that at all. My foot never felt like it was getting hot. It felt comfortable the entire run. And even on the upper, it felt really good. Now, the thing that I wanted to point out that I haven't seen a lot of reviewers kind of point out is this does have a reinforcement or a structure on it that you don't mention. And to be honest with you, I don't know if Puma even mentions it, but I noticed it in this shoe, and I think it's because it's white. So there is this band that actually goes from these three eyelet chains over the midfoot. There's a band, and you can kind of see it here on the in the camera. There's this band that goes from these three eyelet chains and actually goes all the way down to the midsole material right here. And on the inside, you'll actually notice it. It's just these two right here, and you'll see this band kind of go right down all the way to the base of the foot. And this provides, and you feel it, this provides a little bit of a better lockdown over the midfoot of the shoe. And I haven't really noticed anybody really talking about it, but I noticed it in this shoe. You can visibly see it, and you can feel it in this shoe. So it does have some sort of lockdown system, almost similar to, like, again, and I keep pulling the Nike Pegasus because I think that's like a baseline for a daily trainer shoe. Everybody tries to be the Nike Pegasus and be better. And this has something similar to it. It doesn't have that lace loop system, but it definitely has something that helps lock down your midfoot just a little bit better. It is a gusseted tongue, which I love. I love a gusseted tongue. It just adds to the lockdown feel to the shoe. And it's just a very nice lightweight upper and nice heel counter too. Pretty stout, little bit of movement, but not a lot, which adds some structure back here. So you get a little bit of stability in that heel counter area. Really like that as well. Going into the midsole material. Midsole, right there. Okay, so this uses Puma's proprietary midsole material. I can't remember what they call, what it's particularly based on, but it's a nitrogen infused EVA midsole. So it's very similar to the Brooks Hyperion Tempo midsole or the Skechers Hyperburst type of midsole. But I've never ran in those two, so I can't really compare them. But it's nice and what's the best way to describe it? So for me, because I've ran in both of them, so I've ran in the Nike Pegasus 37, which the 38 has the same midsole to it. It hasn't changed. Ran in the Pegasus 37. I've also ran in quite a couple other shoes that are in the same daily trainer category. Asics Nova Blast, Saucony Axon, Adidas Supernova Plus, and a couple others. So what does this kind of feel like? It almost feels like a mix between the Asics Nova Blast and Nike React. Okay, so it's squishy, it's bouncy, kind of like the Flight Foam Blast that's in the Nova Blast. So it is kind of squishy, kind of bouncy, but it gives you a little bit better road feel, and it's a little bit easier to pick up the pace. But it also has that like durability effect like you get from React, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's light. That's the other thing, is it's pretty lightweight midsole material. Now it does have a slightly different midsole material down here in the heel. You can kind of see there's the Nitro foam. This is a different EVA material right down here. What this is it's a little bit thicker, but it still has some, and we'll actually test that out right here. So you can actually see it still has some give to it. Now this is, again, it's only a few miles on it, first run, but it does have some like give to it. This would be more like a React type of material right here, so it's durable. Adds a little bit of stability to the rear of the shoe, because this Nitro foam is rather unstable if you have a lot of stack height to it, which, by the way, I think if I read this correctly, it's 8mm drop. This might be questionable because I'm getting conflicting stories on it, but 22 in the forefoot, 8mm drop, which means it would be a 30mm in the heel. Now, Puma did add this little plate here, which is the exact same plate they use on the Deviate Nitro, and that just adds a little bit more stability here in the heel of the shoe. So when you land, it helps kind of keep your foot straight and moving forward as well. Now, I'm more of a mid-foot striker, so I can't really say how it feels on a heel strike, but for those of you that heel strike, the different midsole material plus this little clip just adds the stability on your heel landing, so it can kind of help keep your foot straight and moving forward, so you don't get as much as that heel flexion like you would on a shoe that didn't have any of this material and just a really high stack height. So but overall, I love the feel of it. It's smooth. It's super smooth. You can pick up the pace in it. It's not the fastest daily trainer, but for what you're looking to do as a daily trainer, just putting in the miles, this is a fantastic shoe to run in, you know, as far as that midsole material is concerned. Now, moving on to the outsole, Puma grip. I love Puma grip. I love it on my Deviates. This is the same thing. It's a lot of rubber. I will admit that there's a lot of rubber. These lugs are really big. It, like, the shoe feels like it digs into the ground like a cat digging into the ground chasing after a gazelle in the Serengeti. That's how it feels, which is kind of fitting for the cat right there. So pretty cool. Love it. It's durable. It's incredibly grippy, and it works well in just about any type of situation, whether you're on wet roads, you're on dry pavement, even light trails. You can do some light trail run in this. I wouldn't say it's a trail shoe, but if you were doing like a light, you know, kind of flattened out trail, something like that, you can easily do that in something like this. Definitely if it's a muddy situation, these are going to get clogged up real quick, and that could cause some slipping issue. Wouldn't recommend that. Now this exposed decoupled groove right here, it's a very light decoupled groove, so it's not as deep as what you get on the Pegasus or what you get on the Nova Blast, but it's still there. It feels good, and that rubber, that rubberized EVA or whatever that's right here in the heel, does extend underneath all throughout here, so that does provide a little bit extra durability for that exposed midsole material. That's another thing that I noticed here, is this particular material here is not the Nitro midsole foam. This is actually a continuation of the rubberized EVA that's back here that goes right up through the center. So when this bottoms out, it's not going to get chewed up by the pavement, which is awesome. I love that. Just adds to the durability of this particular shoe. And so the ride is smooth. It's just smooth. It's not bouncy. I wouldn't say it's fast. It doesn't really encourage you to go fast. It's not one of those shoes where it's like, okay, pick up the pace, let's go. It's definitely a shoe that is a, just go out and put some miles in, enjoy the run. And you know, if you want to pick up the pace every so often, yeah, cool, you can do that. But you know what, for the most part, just go out and enjoy the run. It really is. That's the type of shoe that I've noticed that this is. So who would I use this for? It's a daily trainer, classic daily trainer shoe. It's lightweight, it's comfortable, you can use it pretty much all the time. Even if you wanted to use this like walking out and about, you could use this shoe. It's a good looking shoe. There's a lot of reflective material on here, a lot of it. You probably noticed it as I was shooting the video. You can see reflection, 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 the clip, reflection. There's it has a lot of, so if you use this, if you're looking for a shoe to use for your early morning or even nighttime runs, this is a really good shoe to pick from, just because of all the reflective material on it. But I mean, just the overall comfort and abilities of the shoe, the durability of the shoe, the weight of the shoe. I'm gonna say that, man, Nike, you got some competition here. This is a fantastic shoe. I used to love the Pegasus when it was the 35 and the 36. The 37 I wasn't that big of a fan of. Maybe the 38 might be a little bit better, but man, I'll tell you what, this comes in at a price point, 120 bucks for this shoe. Same price as the Pegasus 38. And I'll be honest with you, if I had to pick between the two, obviously I already have this in my possession, but if I had to pick between the two, the Pegasus 38 and this, I'll be honest with you, I'll buy this 2 times before I will get a Pegasus, and I used to love the Pegasus. This is just a really fantastic running shoe. And it's a trainer. It's kind of in that category as a trainer. The Nitro shoes all kind of flow together. This is the daily trainer shoe of the Nitro lineup. The next shoe up is the Deviate Nitros, which I have. And those have about 50 miles on them, by the way. And honestly, like, I love this shoe. I really do. First run, I can honestly say, absolute great daily trainer. So, again, thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's a long video. I kind of went off on a tangent for a couple minutes in the beginning. If you like this video, please click that like button. Also hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out and expand to a broader audience and allows me to do more videos for you. So again, thank you guys for watching. This is my initial impression of the Puma Velocity Nitro CoolAdapt daily trainer running shoe. So thank you very much, guys, and as always, enjoy the run.